Unless I got off at the wrong stop. This is, which university are we at? Fuda. It's Furin University, right? That was great because it's my very first time here today on campus, and I want to let you know how special this place is to me, because if it wasn't for Furin University, I wouldn't be here today. And that's because if it wasn't for Furin University, my parents wouldn't have met some 48 years ago right here. Yeah, and so back then it was kind of like, you know, you have FJCU, you have my parents, and then, it's me. Yeah, like PPAP. So actually it was more like university, my parents meet, and then they get married, and then they have kids. Now they gotta find a place to raise their family, and that sent them to the US in search of the so-called American dream. But we ask, what really is the American dream? And to clear up one misconception, the American dream is not, you know, muscle-bound rappers, you know, in big gold chains and half-naked ladies soaking in bubble baths and making it rain from the ceiling, you know. Although technically this could be somebody's American dream, it's not typically what most people have in mind. So the American dream, by modern definition, refers to the ideals of freedom, equality, and opportunity traditionally held to be available to every American. It's also described as a life of personal happiness and material comfort traditionally sought by individuals in the US. Now, there's a problem with this because by modern definition, available to every American and sought by individuals in the US, well, that excludes my parents and hundreds of thousands to millions of people before and after them. And these people who at one time dreamt of an amazing America that people were talking about. And these people made incredible sacrifices to immigrate there. And these immigrants helped to make America a great melting pot of ambitious, hardworking people. And furthermore, you have people like me and obvious ABC. And that doesn't stand for American-born Chinese. It stands for American-born citizen. And I qualify for the American dream according to the first definition because of my nationality and where I was born. But according to the second definition, I don't qualify anymore because I no longer live in the US. So it's a bit ridiculous to think that simply because I've been in Asia for 14 years, that my ideals of freedom, equality, and opportunity, you know, which have been engraved in my brain since birth, suddenly and simply no longer apply. So it's not like I would suddenly be communist by moving to China. So let's take it back to 1931, when the original term American Dream was first used by the author James Truslow Adams. At that time, the American Dream emerged from ideas referencing more towards the reasons why people from all over the world were immigrating to America. So it was things like seeking religious and personal freedoms, as well as independence, equality, opportunity. And you've all probably heard life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So, you know, you remember Will Smith and cute little Jaden with his afro, right? So Adams wrote this. He said, the American dream is that dream of a land in which life should be better, richer, and fuller for everyone, and opportunity for each according to ability or achievement. That dream of a land in which life should be better, richer, and fuller for everyone. So nowhere in the original definition does it say that you must be American or located in America. So let's try to start thinking of the American dream more as a concept and an attitude. You know, a lot of people say attitude is everything. This would be working hard and earning your keep, creating endless opportunities, no discrimination to where you're from or if you're rich or if you're poor. It's the dream of a land, anywhere, in which life should be better for anyone, not just Americans. When people ask me what I've been doing all these years in Asia, I tell them I'm in Asia pursuing my American dream. And obviously, I get a lot of weird looks, and some people might think I'm crazy, but does it even matter? You gotta ask yourself, does it even matter what other people think about you? See, I was born and raised in the state of Oregon along the coast. The town I grew up in had a whopping, astounding population of 5,000 people. That's not even 17% of the number of students enrolled here at Furin University. my family was basically the only family in town that wasn't white. And to make things better, my dad loved John Wayne and cowboy movies, so I grew up on a ranch with all kinds of animals and all kinds of guns. Reporters used to follow my brother and I around town and take pictures as if they were trying to prove that aliens and ETs landed in America. And my parents even had my brother and I dress up as cowboys and ride horses in the town parade for multiple years. And from our perspective as kids, it was cool to be riding horses in the town parade. And for the people reading the paper, it was cool to see two Chinese boys being paraded around town on horses. The moral of the story is it doesn't really matter where you come from. There's always going to be people who are quick to formulate an opinion of you. Now, despite how it may sound, I loved growing up in Florence, Oregon, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Although some people could be ignorant at times, most people were kind, easygoing, and innocent. Some of them may be a little underexposed to the world, but I believe it's because of the simplicity of my environment that as a child, it was easy for me to absorb the notion that anything is possible. My teachers at school told me I could be anything if I put my mind to it, and I believed it. So I was 18 years old when I left Oregon. Legally, I was an adult. So I thought I was doing something crazy. I went to college. Now I was living in Seattle, experiencing new things, and eventually graduated from the University of Washington with the BA, which I soon found out stood for barely anything. I'm not saying that you're not gonna really learn a whole bunch of stuff that's important at Furin University, but after graduating, I was supposedly set to take on the world. Yeah, right. Getting a job at some big company like all my friends and classmates did wasn't really what I wanted. So I came up with a plan to manipulate my parents by saying, hey, I really want to learn Chinese. And I caught a flight to Taiwan. They were so proud. Since I'm speaking in English right now, let's see. 你们大概可以感觉我的中文还是讲得不怎么样。14 years later, today, my parents aren't so proud of my Chinese. Taiwan to me was like fantasy land. I fell in love with it from the very first week. It was a land full of opportunities, and it was exactly where I needed to be. From a small town in Oregon to Fantasyland, Taiwan, I was meeting successful people, celebrities, and friends of mine were making it big in multiple industries. This really defined anything is possible. Up until then, the closest famous person I came across was when my brother accidentally met Bill Gates in a restaurant bathroom. And my brother called me right away and he said, "You won't believe it. I shook the hand of the richest man in the world." And then he told me, "But Bill Gates didn't wash his hands after going to the bathroom." And I'm like, "What, you shook it? You still shook it?" And my brother was like, "Yo, it's Bill Gates." And I'm like, okay, I would shake it too. So what I want you to know is that life is all about choices, and it can be as colorful, wild, or fulfilling as you choose it to be. Now, not everything I've done will appeal to all of you, but over the years I've accumulated an unbelievable amount of experiences, some of which may seem cool, some things might sound horrible even, and others may make you think that I'm some kind of super douchebag. But know this, every person you come across in life is different. And if you can understand that from everyone you encounter, you can learn what to do and what not to do, as well as what you want and what you don't want in life. For instance, like performing in front of tens of thousands of people, partying with the rightful heir to the North Korean dictatorship, and even being thrown in jail and beaten up by police. So I've been trying to keep my bucket list as short as possible, focusing to accomplish as much as possible, and as some may say, die on empty. You gotta make life fun. Approach life as if you're the star in your own movie or show. Each day is a new day, a new episode with 86,400 exciting seconds. So you gotta make each second count because eventually time runs out for us all. Even Bill Gates, all that money that he's got, he can't even buy time. So honestly, I personally am not crazy successful yet, and I'm not even at the level of success that I have in my own mind. But as an old man, yes, I'm almost 40 years old, I'm more than happy with my life and more than happy to share what I've learned from my experiences and failures so you don't have to experience the same failures that I had. Instead, you can focus on making each second of your life count and not having life and having any regrets in it. So how many of you have done something in your life that you've regretted? Okay, my shades are too dark, so I can't see any hands. Well, I'm sorry to say, but the reality of it is that regret may stick with you for the rest of your life. And that's why you have to avoid regret. You have to avoid regret at all costs. One of the deepest fears in life is at the end of your life when you're wishing you could have done things differently. That's because the pain of regret weighs much more than the pain of failure. I'll say it again. The pain of regret weighs much more than the pain of failure. You have choices in life, so don't let people make your choices for you. Don't choose to live with any regrets, and don't choose to leave with any regrets. No one or no thing should be able to deprive you of your American dream. It's easy to say that, but unfortunately, the world is full of haters. And sometimes these haters are the people that are closest to you, the ones you trust and care about the most, and the ones that should be there for you in times of struggle for support and encouragement. These haters make you doubt yourself the most. They suck your confidence right out and replace it with the fear of failure. They kill your dreams, and they are your parents, brothers, sisters, best friends, coworkers, and bosses. These dream killers not only act like they know what's best for you, but they act like they know you best. And the truth of it is that you feel it, that there's more to life than just getting a so-called real job and all these people telling you you're wasting your time doing the things that you enjoy. Sometimes you just gotta say, shut up, and move on. Their discouraging attitude is unintentional. You gotta understand that. But they're only trying to protect you because they care about you. What they don't realize is that in the midst of not wanting to see you get hurt, they may be holding you back, which will hurt you in the long run and in the worst possible way. They themselves have a misconception that it's better to avoid failure at all costs than to actually live life, when to live life stands for life intensified via experience. Live it fully every day. Don't let them dictate the way you live life. Now, I'm not gonna pump you up and let you get overconfident. Failure hurts. Trust me, I've met failure so many times. Most people you know actually wanna see you fail, just so they can say, see, I told you so. Why else do you think people watch things like epic fail videos on YouTube where people are skateboarding, crash, break their arm, or Eddie the Eagle with that special case kid who wanted to do the Winter Olympics and ski jump and he breaks his leg, and NASCAR where drivers are driving 300 miles per hour to slam into a wall. Society loves seeing other people crash and burn because it gives them a sense of, my life ain't so bad. But learning from failure allows you to grow and improve and become stronger. One of my favorite speakers, Les Brown, always says, keep failing forward until one day you're gonna fail your way to success. I wanted to share with you guys one of the lowest points in my life. When my business partners of 11 years here in Taiwan, my two best friends, chose not to work with me anymore. They didn't even want to be friends, actually, and everything we built for over a decade was gone, just like that. For many of you, 11 years is more than half your life, right? So imagine what I was going through. It would have been easiest for me to pack my bags, quit on my dreams, and go back to the States. But then suddenly I thought of the MMA fighters that I work with, the professional fighters, and what it takes for them to become a champion. It's their fearlessness to fight anyone anytime, anywhere. It's their resilience in the face of adversity, a never say die attitude to persevere until successful. Sometimes you get knocked down and sometimes you lose, but it doesn't make you a failure unless you choose to quit. So then I made the choice to reset, restart, and rebuild, because winners never quit and quitters never win. I want everybody right now to say, I am a winner. Come on, I am a winner. All right, so I moved to Taiwan with barely enough money to last maybe not even 3 months. I couldn't read, I couldn't write, and I couldn't speak Chinese at all. And 14 years later, although my Chinese isn't perfect, through my experiences and failures, I'm still here closing in on my dream, checking off my bucket list by standing here on this TEDx stage and proving to my haters that it can be done. Here's some examples of what you can accomplish if you truly believe enough. These guys wanted to be an alien and a dragon. This guy wanted to be Obama and Justin Bieber. And these guys wanted to change the world. Now, I know most of you might not agree with the people in the pictures, but I wanted to show you how far actually believing can take you, because believing, as they say, is achieving. So ask yourself, how badly do you want to achieve your American dream? Imagine this. Imagine graduating and getting a job because of stability. The average salary is not great. You don't even enjoy it, but it's what you majored in, and you don't want your tuition money to go to waste. It becomes difficult to drag yourself out of bed, and you feel tired from the redundancies of your chosen lifestyle. How are you ever going to get married, pay for the wedding, the ring, buy a car, buy a home, support a family, and pay for school for your kids? You are a slave to your work, and your boss owns you. And worst of all is that you're making his dreams come true because you traded your own dreams in for a shitty salary. Somewhere you lost the motivation to enjoy your life. And as a slap in the face, you got fat along the way. So you want to know why people are having less kids these days, getting married later on in life? And depression is a global epidemic, with Taiwan having the highest depression rate. Now, imagine your career was playing your favorite video game. When would you stop playing? The answer is you wouldn't stop because you love it. It's exciting and you look forward to it. When you discover your true passion, it becomes an obsession. Life has a complete sense of purpose. You wake up in the morning energetic, and maybe you'll even take a shot at starting your own business. You've become fearless, and you have the courage to face challenges because you're chasing something you actually believe in. People, if you find something like I just mentioned, if you have a passion that makes you feel like the way I just described, that's your calling. You now have a direction. It's your American dream waiting there in the distance, so go get it. It'd be an honor if even one or two of you here today leave here feeling a bit inspired or encouraged to pursue your passions in life and go after that American dream. Remember that author from 1931, the guy who originally defined the American dream? He said this too: be not afraid of life. Believe that life is worth living, and your belief will help create the fact. So in closing, just remember this: aliens do exist. Don't let others dictate your path when your heart is already telling you the way. And you have the right to choose and pursue an American dream, or any dream for that matter, anytime, anywhere, for anyone. Thank you.